from the New York Post.
It's got aliens.
Possibly hostile alien threat detected in unknown interstellar object, a shocking new study claims. It's the New York Post. The New York Post says a mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet in November, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could be potentially dire for humanity. You think? The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th, to the preprint server ARXIV, Southwest News Service reported, and here's a picture that proves it. It's aliens.
Oh,
it's Galactus.
Those are the Infinity Gems. He made them big like his body.
I like that it was a small number of scientists in a controversial paper.
Yep. Dubbed
Good Friday
3. You know what's funny is I don't know if that's an I or an L. Dubbed 3L Atlas, the interstellar entity was discovered on July 1st, rocketing toward the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour. Less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object with initial observation suggesting it could be a comet measuring up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than Manhattan.
Could also be Uber Eats Galactic.
However, in the paper, the trio of researchers suggested it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise.
I mean, comets aren't generally interstellar. They come from the Oort cloud, and the Oort cloud is technically part of our solar system.
And they're in orbit.
Yeah, they're in orbit around the sun, so it's not interstellar. So if this is actually interstellar, it does make it novel because we don't have things coming from actually
Oumuamua or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah.
the planetary, or no, it was a big
an interstellar oblong object.
2017, right?
Oumuamua or something. It's
big long rock.
That's what it was called.
I can picture the AI graphic of it, but I don't know what it was.
Oumuamua.
There it is.
I've been thinking about the spirits. Can the spirits get angry? Do you think spirits can feel emotion?
What do you mean by spirits? You have to define your terms.
Well, like your subconscious.
What? That's okay.
You know, your subconscious has like thoughts
Just
and its own kind of
straight up right turn, right? 90 degrees.
I think that's like your radio receiver to the spirits. But it's all coming through one loudspeaker.
You think that this is spirits?
Well, I don't know. I've been seeing people call for the asteroid twice this week, and I wonder if there's something about.
I always thought they were calling for the sweet meteor of death.
Yeah,
it's called the SMOD, the SMOD. Two of my friends wrote that in on the presidential election.
Sweet meteor of death.
That's what they wrote in. They wanted SMOD 2024.
Honestly, it's the waiting I can't stand.
That's really the worst part of it.
That's what it all comes down to. Hurry up and wait.
The worst part will be once it's announced that it's inbound, and then you have to wait for it.
It'll be the funniest thing ever. Just the funniest. If, like, come November, there's a gigantic ship in the sky coming. People are going to take clips from the show, and boy, are we going to get roasted.
We put it in the New York Post.
At that point, we're going to have such bigger problems. We're going to be trying to.
No, the only thing we're going to care about is our reputations. You got this wrong. Like, shut up. Stop making fun of me.
Make more room in the shelter.
I mean, the entire internet is just alive with people saying they'll do anything to not release the Epstein files. This is the distraction.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Early this morning, my buddy and I were talking, and we decided that we need three things in this country right now. We need a better class of grifters. We need better psyops, which Elon Musk actually tweeted as well. And my buddy came to a novel conclusion that is also true. We need better conquerors or villains. He's like, what a terrible time to be alive in 2025. And like back in the day, you used to have like actual strong men, dictator, evil people that would come in. They put people's heads on pikes, and we have like Bill Gates like quietly plotting like whether or not we're going to
got
depopulation.
He's got big old moves.
It just doesn't look
Trump,
that threatening.
Trump can't lie. Okay, so part of me wants to believe all of the aliens is a distraction and Obama's a distraction, and you know, Trump is fumbling on purpose because there's a deeper plan here and it's 5D chess. But I think the reality is Trump is just very not good at handling this PR disaster. And the most frustrating thing about it is there's probably a 24-year-old marketing intern who could have done it better.
We should also probably give the grace where it is that he's got to be exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Because being beaten down for 10 straight years where everything you do is scrutinized. Like the other day, he went out and talked about how his uncle, who's no longer with us, was a teacher of Fred Kaczynski.
Or was it John Trump?
Wait, what?
Yeah. You didn't hear this?
Tesla guy?
Yeah.
Wait, the Tesla guy was a teacher of Kaczynski.
Well, that's what he claimed. The problem is that his uncle died in like 1985 or 1986, and Kaczynski was found in 1996. So like, there's a big gap of like no possibilities there. No one knew who Ted Kaczynski was at the time, so nobody could ask that question. And he never attended MIT, which is where John Trump actually taught. So that's not a true story. And at some point in time, when you start saying funny things like that, and you're just you get tired and you just start talking. He said a lot of things. Wasn't that Ben Shapiro's quote about Donald Trump, that when he dies, his tombstone will say, Donald Trump, he said a lot of
things.
Yeah. I think he had a more colorful term for it, but
it definitely seems like he's probably thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go through all this, and then they're going to use this stupid Epstein thing to get my name because I was there with Epstein because I've known him, and they're going to try and do me this way. I'm not letting it happen. Like that feels what's going on right now.
So one of the first things you learn in marketing when you're 18 and you're going to your first college 101 class is they say, in almost every circumstance, your best course of action is to say and do nothing. And Trump is like, I'm going to do the opposite and just not shut up for 2 weeks.
That wasn't bad.
Hold my beer.
That wasn't a bad Trump.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, no, he can't do it. This was the argument about Trump 1.0 as well. Like a little bit of discipline would have gone so far if he had just not said some things.
And then
people would have just looked at their 401k at the end of like 2019. They'd be like, man, we're doing really well.
That's why I'm like, this has to be on purpose, because there's no way you go, why are you still talking about Epstein? Nobody cares about Epstein. You're all weak and you're not my supporters. Screw you. And it's like, well, now they're going to talk about it twice as much.
The ultimate Streisand effect on that.
Right. And Trump knows this. Come on.
And he must feel like I don't need their votes anymore anyway, so
that's
I'm out of
objectively
orbit.
true.
That's not true.
He doesn't need their votes.
I mean, I guess you need the midterm votes.
In 2018, Trump was campaigning in the midterms because he said, I will be impeached if you do not vote for these people. He needs these midterm votes.
Didn't they just come out and say, didn't the Democrats just come out and say that they're not interested in impeachment because it would just be...
They are lying.
What are you talking about? They only tell us the truth, Phil, and I'm not going to have that from you. How dare you?
Absolutely impeach him.
I'm just saying, they said it.
There's a profile on me and the company in the Wall Street Journal.
Recent?
Today, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They came down and took photos. I think they were actually very fair and very nice. I think it was actually, considering how the media writes about people in this space, I would call it a puff piece, meaning like they didn't insult me. Yeah. But they did say that we veer into conspiracy territory. And I was talking to the reporter. She asked me, like, do you think this is a conspiracy? I said, no, I actually think I completely agree with the entirety of the Democratic Party and the liberal media on the Epstein files needing to be released. And for some reason, Trump isn't wanting to. So there's potentially some agenda behind this. And she still wrote that I was like veering into conspiracy territory, but it wasn't like insulting or anything. Yeah. I just think that it is somewhat frustrating that finally the Democrats are screaming conspiracy, and we are all still conspiracy theorists now, even if we agree with what they're screaming conspiracy about.
So this is the discussion. I actually had this with your driver on the way in. You can agree with people and have totally different motives.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You could have the idea that you're like, that guy needs to go away. And it needs to happen violently. And it could be because you want to take all of his money and you're a thief. But it could also be because he did something really terrible in your town or hurt somebody that you know. And you could have the same exact goal or end. In the case of the government, the Democrats, when it comes to like voting for things, they're like, there's not enough puff and government money here. We're not doing enough bloat. And then you see people on the right that are like, I don't like this bill. It has too much of that. They both vote the same way. They both get smeared the same. So whether you're being fair or not, if you agree with people that you're not supposed to, apparently, you get smeared.
So are we in agreement then? We are hoping the aliens are coming to destroy us?
Yeah, I thought that was assumed.
Okay, all right.
No, we are becoming aliens, man. We're merging with the machine.
You think it's
our probes are already on Mars?
Is this even a conversation? You're just like, every time anyone says anything, you're just like,
I don't think there's external aliens.
Off on your own.
Like what? We have the moon. You'd have to find a planet with the moon.
Wait, guys.
We have the moon.
We do have the moon.
None of this makes any sense.
With a moon like ours that can create tides that will allow life to thrive like we are.
How do you know, though? How do you know?
Have you ever been to the moon?
Okay, that was a good one.
So one of the best. I remember I was driving through Montana and I was listening to Joe Rogan talking to Alex Jones, and it like you ever have one of those things where someone says something and it expands your mind and it'll never go back to the original size. Yeah. He's like, I don't think that there's extraterrestrials. I think that all the things that people think are aliens are actually human beings from the future, because who else would be more interested in human beings than human beings at some distant point in the future? And I was like, oh no, like I don't know that is true, and I don't even know that I believe it's true. No. I just went like, oh man, I've never thought of that as being a real possibility.
The theory is that grays are future humans.
Okay, do you know the story about the Greys with me?
No, I don't. You met one.
I was sitting in my boss's office in 2022, my FBI supervisor. I'm on duty. and they've just assigned me to a squad and gave me no work. So he calls me to the op because they were trying to punish me. Oh. They put me on a national security squad because they were going to get rid of me. This is after my whistleblowing activity. They kicked me out for COVID stuff. Now I'm back in the office. I'm sitting there and I have no work. So I refresh all my paramedic stuff and I get called in the office. My boss sits me down. He goes, so what sort of work do you want to do here? And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be on a national security squad. So I'll do whatever you ask me, but I'm not going to tell you I want to do anything because I don't. And he was like,
and it went do do.
So he looks at me.
Do.
He's looking at me and he goes, well, you got to pick something. And I go, well, I'm not really excited about anything. And then I had this little moment about the Dolce base that kicked into my head because one of my buddies, who's also an FBI agent, was really excited about it. And so I look over and there's a map of New Mexico. I go, maybe I can go up to the Archuleta Mesa and do some investigations into the Dolce base. Do you think I can get like a travel voucher to get some approved travel, a couple days, go ask some questions? And he goes, what's the Dolce base? I go, it's one of the DUMBs. And he was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, oh, they're the deep underground military bases. There's like a dozen of them around New Mexico. They're all connected with like a cavernous cave system. And apparently there was a big fight back in the 80s between Delta Force and some of the Greys. And so, apparently an FBI agent was actually killed in the gunfire. And so I would like to go and do an investigation of that, see if we can come up with anything and go check out what happened to our brothers. And he goes, when you say Greys, you mean aliens? And I sat there for a second. I looked at him and I go, what do you call them? And he goes, dude, I don't know if you're being serious with me right now. And I was like, me neither. And then I left. And they never assigned me anything. And now I don't work there anymore.
What if they
might have been firing because of the alien question. I'm just saying.
You mean you had an opportunity to get in on the X-Files?
I tried desperately. That's what I'm telling you. I gave it my best shot. And they gave me the blank look. And by the way, I went to
blank look.
They just were like, what are you talking about?
No. After you left, he picks up his phone and he goes, he's on to us.
Seraphin's out.
Seraphin's out.
Punch his ticket.
I was hanging out, thinking about the spirits, and I think spirits,
because
they control the aliens.
Now, when you say spirits, I hear Spirit Airlines.
I think of the spirit as like the guy playing a video game. We're the character in the video game, the avatar getting moved around, and the spirit is the controller, the guy watching the TV of us doing our life. So when you see the spirits and they see you and you realize it'd be like if your video game character turns and looks at you and is like, what the fuck? And then you can interact with your spirit, which is like all of human spirit combined into this one.
Like a fourth wall break. They do this in Hollywood sometimes.
Yeah, and I think
faux pas until they did Ferris Bueller.
And I think it's you, aspects of you, but what happens is you grow up, you get old, you die, and then you're born as a spirit. And as a spirit, you grow up, and when you die as a spirit, you become a human. And we're like in this co-partnership.
What is the name of this theology?
Ianism.
I don't know.
Raj.
Yeah.
How well accepted is it?
Not at all. In fact, there's a general disdain for it.
It would be accepted under Title VII, just so you know. You can have that. Title VII would assume that you were sincere and genuine in your beliefs.
Tax-free religion?
Oh, dude, no one doubts Ian.
There's no tax-free status for it.
This reminds me of like a Rogan conversation if he was high.
When?
Not right.
I've never
when?
done. Yeah, when
he's
I've never done drugs, so I'm like trying to sit here and like from my base level.
Here's the secret. Ian doesn't actually do drugs.
No, I'm not accusing you of doing drugs. I'm just thinking like my brain can't think
but not today.
In the capacity of the words that you're speaking.
It was kind of like Kyle was saying, have you ever had a conversation that twists your mind open and then it doesn't ever go back? Have you ever given birth like to a new thought and then it's like that ain't ever shrinking back to its original?
I didn't use the give birth. That's not my words.
The actual origin story is that around 2008, not only did Ian have that conversation, but they grabbed him by the head and just twisted it into a permanent.
That was the salvia that did that.
Oh, see, exactly. Like I've never done even that.
Yeah, DMT was where I saw the spirits. It was it was like we're also in a high frequency.
What age were you? Hold on.
Think you saw the
higher
spirit.
frequency?
Correct.
We don't.
I would need to do it.
What age were you when you first did this?
DMT? Like 44, 45.
Okay. I had an interesting phone call from I have a half brother who's got 9.5 years on me. And he called me when I was like 23 years old. And he goes, hey man, I was thinking about you. I just want to tell you something. And I go, what? And he goes, your time for psychotropic drugs is over. And I was like, what? And he's like, your window where that would be appropriate for your mind it's closed. So you can't do that. And I was like, why were you thinking about that? And why would you think that was something I was interested in? But he shut me down. And so I'm concerned that you might have experienced that outside of your window and you're not supposed to.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.